Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to Griftlands, where today I think we're completing Rook's plan. And I don't yet know what it is, but I'm sure Rook has it all in order. All the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed, and all the crosses on those are crossed again, and maybe another time. It's not clear to me how many crosses are involved. It's a lot. I can't keep track of it all. I'm hoping that Rook has it a little bit better than I do. Gosh, I wish we had more than 54 max HP. You're not shocked to see Kalandra herself at the rendezvous point, flanked by a small cadre of Rise. Something about these freedom-fighting types leads to acts of heroism among the leadership. Well, I mean, it's a nice change of pace, at least. It's about time. I was beginning to worry Hebel hadn't delivered the message. Well, he did, and he was rather displeased, in fact. I guess he's the superstitious sort. You know, living in this bog, I can see how you might get to be superstitious. Well, thanks to your intel, we spent all night studying the known maps of this part of the bog. Most of it is unpassable, as likely to eat your leg off as let you pass. But, judging by the terrain and what we know about the boggers' movements, this map is our best guess. Yeah, I've charted my fair share of unmapped territory. This should be simple. I'm sure nothing terrible is going to happen at all. Why would I ask about Fleckfist? Oh, that's right, because he was going to come and tell her, yeah, we should probably. So, just you? Where's Fleckfist? He's keeping the Barons distracted. Besides, this is dangerous, and I wouldn't ask Fleckfist to do something I wouldn't do myself. He asked me to send his regards, though. Apparently you impressed him yesterday. Well, I impressed something upon him anyway. Fleckfist can be a bit stubborn, but there's never been anyone more loyal. Yeah, I'm honored to have his esteem. Rook has the same expression on his face that I do right now. It's like, that doesn't sound... I don't trust that. Yeah, I guess let's do it. I don't think there's anything else we want to take care of. We could go buy stuff, but we don't really have enough money to buy anything interesting. Let's do it. I'm ready. Can you and your people keep up? I can't imagine there's much combat experience between the lot of you. We can handle ourselves, but the movement has made me promise to stay out of danger. If you get into trouble, the Rise can help, but there's only so much we can do. Okay, so we got a reinforcement card. Listen, I got all these pistols. I'm sure I'll be fine. Remember, no reinforcements. We're on our own. I do not believe the thing I just said that we'll be fine. That's not what's going to happen at all. We're going to draw a lot of cards and take a lot of damage and maybe die from it. The sounds of muddy footfall cause your whole party to pull up short. You don't expect to find a worker this deep in the bog, but you do. The Barons at her heels might explain why. Keep it moving, you sludge pile. You'll stop walking when I say so. You made your point, Delano. I get it. I won't talk back again. We don't want to run into anything dangerous out here, right? We won't, but you might. Your group has gone unnoticed in the bush. You gotta save that worker, Rook. We're on a covert operation, you might recall. Agreed, so the more covert, the better. We'll stay here. You go do your thing. Yeah, all right. She doesn't like me, right? Delano's on the dislike list? Or, yeah. Just dislike. No, wait, how do I... There we go. This thing is remarkably hard to control. Yeah. Okay, so if we're gonna take care of her, if we're gonna do this, we kind of gotta kill her, because otherwise this is gonna turn into hate, and I'm gonna get a Bane. All right, very well. With Kalandra and the other Rise out of sight, you approach the Barons. Ah, hello. I was hoping I might run into someone. I'm a bit lost. I don't suppose you could point me back towards civilization, eh? Sure. It's right back where you came from. Wait, please. This Baron's going to leave me out here to die. You have to help me. I can show you the way back if you take me with you. You shut up. Ignore her. This is just a rudimentary patrol, and Baslet's trying to shirk responsibility. Well... Oh, attack the Barons. Attack the multiple Barons. I did not realize that she had a war party with her. Delano will not hate me. No, I think we're going to be able to solve that. So we could try to do this. It doesn't say that this will make Delano hate us, or we could just kill her, and we know that won't make her hate us. And also, we could, loot the body. All right, I know we've taken it easy on the murder out here so far, but But this is the last day. This is kind of like the time to sort of cut ties with the area. But I'm a little concerned about how much damage we'll take in combat, even if the combat goes well, because of all the damage we're always doing to ourselves. Oh, I think not, Baron. Seems to me you're more interested in squandering company resources. And then a different Rise Rebel jumps out of the bushes, and that really blows our cover, but okay, fine. Let's prepare. I guess it doesn't really matter which one. We desperately want them both prepared. I was really hoping here for draw and prepare. I guess we could try to draw our other bluff and just dig really deep into our deck. You know what? I'm just going to make next turn super powerful. Okay, so you're just the steal and hold hostage one. Okay, this is easy enough. Let's draw some cards and do not have any rigging, sadly. Well, we can do this right now. Oh, okay. Got ourselves a scrub. We don't have any status cards in our deck anymore, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and play that. Then we play this and prep that. Try to draw another card here. Yeah, I guess let's go for it. Because like the thing is, if we don't win the gamble, then we can't play the cards, right? I'm gonna go for it, and we'll get 2 damage or we'll get a doubt, and yeah, that actually works wonderfully. Here, let's just soften the damage on that a little bit, and I think we'll hold the coin flip. Yeah, I don't want to spend our 1 rig. It would be nice to get the extra stack of doubt established early, but I think best we maintain our options. Hold on a second. Which thing is this? Okay, not even a problem. We don't have to worry about that at all. What do I prepare? Probably this, I suppose. So Delano's on my list already, right? Yes. But still, the list is an awful lot of cards. Or yeah, it's an awful lot of damage. Oh, right, my hand's full. Also, I found my 1 red card, which I guess I would have known if I had thought about it because there was only so much deck left. All right, let's blow this up right now, because otherwise it's gonna keep sucking damage off of our It's a unfortunate wording. It's gonna keep siphoning damage off of our doubt. Yeah, let's just burn it. Try to keep doubt focused on the job at hand. There's nothing in our hand that is worth preparing right now, and we have no card draw, so we can't try to draw the helmet back out. So we may as well just go ahead and burn the things that do preparation now. So let's rig 4, prep, whatever. At this point, I'll take my cards back now that my hand is no longer completely full. And yeah, whatever. Yeah, you know what? A little bit of composure, maybe an okay idea. I don't know exactly how many challenges we're going to be up against today. You know, I had that boosted head split in my hand the whole time. I definitely should have played that earlier. Listen, sequencing is hard. So is it just double restored call it into cash out? I guess when we play cash out, it expends, so we probably don't want to spend it yet. I do think we want to start incepting doubt. And then is just rigged pleasantries for more rigging. I think this is better than the extra 2 damage off of head split. I just want to make sure we have a lot of rigged flips in our future. Oh, hey, that dead draw that I really want to play because it will level up. Nothing here really needs to be prepared. We will prepare the helmet itself. Damn it, that is the wrong that is the wrong target for that resolve. Well, I guess let's open with this. And then is there any reason not to just play dead draw? I guess that if I wanted to potentially play cash out this turn, but I don't, yeah. Let's just go ahead and play this, get it leveled up. If we produce the prepare card here, we did not, that's a shame. Here, we'll just take this, give myself a little bit of protection from what's going on there. And then, yeah, we get some decent damage at least. Would really have liked to get the action in the card, obviously. And we have enough doubt that there's not going to be very much fight left, no matter how this goes. Oh no, my helmet. Well... we somehow, again, do not have any cards that particularly want to be prepared. So we definitely want to play Headbang here. I'm going to play Scrub again just to reduce the hatch value. And, like, we have Lethal in hand. I guess I'm not really looking for anything, right? There are very few cards in our deck that still... yeah, there are very few cards in our deck that still need XP. So we're going to do Boosted Head Split, and then 16 damage to your dome. Alright, the Absorber can level up. Okay, 1 Composure to all friendly arguments more easily. I never remember that we have this, and so I'm like weaving my purple cards in between our green cards in a pretty non-ideal way. It turns out at this point in the run, we have like a ton of stuff going on. Yep, Pale Dead Draw for sure. What a good card. That's not really that compelling. We do accumulate influence now over the course of the fight because we just have a couple of cards that do that. I think we're going to not take any of this stuff. At this point, even good purple cards that have to be very, very good, and the 2 green cards that are there are just not interesting enough. Listen, whatever petty grudge you're trying to play out will get back to Philemo, I assure you. And then you'll have to explain yourself to him, if not me. Ah, fine, have it your way. But you watch yourself, grifter. You won't always be in Philemo's good books. Boy, don't I know it. And when you aren't... oh, she did the finger across her throat gesture. I know what that means. I've been a spy for a long time. I know all the hand signals. The barons skulk off, throwing bitter looks over their shoulders. Thank you. I don't know what I did to deserve this good turn. You can find your way back from here, I assume? Yeah, I think so. Here, let me sketch out a route for you. You spend a few moments relaying safe passage back through the bog. You keep to that road and you'll likely be fine. You're a lifesaver, truly. Next time you're back at the work camps, I'll do my best to make it up to you. Well, what do you know? That was mighty kind of you, Rook. I did what you asked. I believe those are the terms of my employment. But you went above and beyond what I asked. If it were me, I would have brought Baslet with us. That would have given you more muscle to work with. Still, you are who you are, so let's get back to it. Look, she's so smug about it. Okay, another copy of Heavy Lifting. I'm into it. It's good to make friends. The bog presses in on all sides. I've lived in this bog my whole life, and I know when we're being stalked. Someone's following us. Something. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Quiet. You hold your breath, straining your hearing, and then combat is occur. It's just a bunch of feral robot nightmares. Give the beast space, Calandra. I'll take care of this. Okay, so it's just a whole lot of dogs. Well, the good news is, Ricochet. So how do we want to open this up? I mean, Giant Stinger's just going to straight up kill 2 of them. That seems like a pretty solid start. Remember, piercing attacks do double damage against metallic enemies. That's why that number is so high. Toolbox. This card contains other cards that can be improvised. Okay. So I'm not going to spend any Rise Forces on this. I don't think that's necessary. I think we're probably okay. I guess we may as well gain some more actions here. We're going to drop a Great Big Lethal Kick for 1. This does 8 to 11 now, so we'll bounce some damage off of that. Okay, there we go. I was going to say, is it not going to ricochet? Do I misunderstand how that works? But no, it just took a very long time to actually take effect. And then despite all of that work, I take 3 damage from my stupid hand. That's fine. I had the defense for it. And then once again, I am unclear on whether I need to play the tendrils to make the hatch thing go down, or whether I'm supposed to play another card with them to make their effect happen. When this card's effect is triggered. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Let's just hit something real hard and see what that does. Okay, that did not hatch it. Okay, it is play the card, not its effect triggering. I got a fever. Remove all debuffs on yourself. Take 3 damage per debuff removed. All right, well, there's going to be a lot of situations where we can play that and it won't actually do anything bad to us. We're going to energy loop our 2 HP back. And then, I don't know, it looks like the fight's over. I guess I should probably play Hunker Down just to get experience on it. And we're not going to spend any of our reinforcement stuff. Actually, I am going to play this. We don't have any debuffs currently. And that just gets a card out of my hand. I guess for the same reason I should play this. Although we have enough defense that we're not actually going to take any damage here. Also, I guess the fight's going to end before it would be time. Thanks, Binary. So lots and lots and lots of metal. Even more ricochet. I gotta be honest with you. I don't feel like we have a very cohesive strategy with Rook. Our negotiation deck is fine, but our combat deck is just kind of like throwing everything against the wall and hoping stuff sticks. And so far it's working out, but I think it's probably working out because we're on a low difficulty. Apply 1 burn per concentration. So we do have concentration off of our Flourish. We have a reliable source of concentration, but only once every couple of fights. And I kind of think maybe Backfire's not terrible, but I kind of think maybe we're just going to not take any of this. With the beast taken care of, you turn to check on Calandra. Believe me, you learn to trust your danger sense real quick when you work out here. Imagine being a child and having to deal with that. Quite honestly, I can't imagine that at all. Well, lucky you. Anyway, we best head out before the scavengers catch wind of the blood. Is that a problem? Do robot dogs smell blood? The expedition reaches an abandoned ruin, easily defensible and good enough for a rest. Okay, hold up. Let's take a breather. Might do to reassess our resources going forward, too. Make sure we're prepared for, whatever we might find. Feeling a bit apprehensive, are we? You know how many people have made it into the deep bog and survived? No, I do not. Me neither. Only a fool goes in cocksure and blindsided. You don't go in blindsided. You go in cocksure and you become blindsided later. The troops spread out, leaving you to snatch at a couple quiet moments to yourself. So we can meditate for resolve, we can upgrade some cards, or we could explore the temple. So we don't have very much in the way of experience needs. We have more battle cards that could use upgrades, but I sort of think, I kind of want to just go into the temple and see what happens. Let's do it. Let's take the random chance. I'll check the perimeter. You leave the group behind to explore the dusty old ruins. Though the bog has eaten away at their foundations, it's clear no one has passed this way in quite some time. Though you're no archaeologist, your keen eye finds something interesting all the same. Oh. Heal an amount equal to the health lost by the target. That's pretty cool. I like the way that scales up with your wounds and stuff. The aerostat coil gun. So, this card has replenish, and that's great. It means that it's not like... Do they all? No, okay, a couple of them do. You know, it's cool that they replace themselves in your hands, so even if you're not going to use them, they haven't like effectively costed you a draw. But I'm so nervous about taking too much damage from our stupid graft. That said, this is so good. I think you gotta take that. The bog scimitar is also pretty compelling. Spark grenades are good against large groups of robots, which is apparently a problem that we're gonna have a lot. I really wish this didn't cost 2. Yeah, all right. I'm taking it all. Calandra raises her voice for all to hear. It's time to go. You and the troops fall into step. The deep bog awaits. You're deep in the bog now. Hey, they weren't kidding. A fly buzzes next to your ear, loud enough to almost crack your skull. I have had that experience. The waters are thick and murky around your legs. There's no use denying it. You'll have to stop to clear the debris from out of your false joint. All right, hold just a moment. What is it? One of the charming idiosyncrasies of these artificial legs. They need to be maintained. I suppose you're contemplating leaving me behind? We need to move quickly. I thought you were all about teamwork. You know, no one left behind. That takes energy and resources, and I'm a finite source of both. Believe me, I feel for you. You lost your leg in service only to have them cast you aside, but you're still better off than most of the workers here. You can leave, you can make choices, and you can take care of yourself. My efforts are better placed elsewhere. You both fall silent as your ears prick. Something about the bog has shifted. Even the buzzing flies have gone. The bog hungers, outsiders. You should sink beneath its waters so it can feed. Well, I'm going to run him off with my very good intimidation skills, I guess. Yeah, let's give it a try at least. Burn the bog. Best you slink back where you came from. I'm sure if it was as easy as burn the bog, somebody would have done it by now. What is, hold on a second. What is this? At the end of every turn, lose 1 influence and 1 dominance. Okay, that's not terribly relevant to us, but there are some strategies where that would be really annoying. So we're just going to go ahead and burn Scrub here. Do we have any other sources of card draw? We do not. I'll just go ahead and prepare the helmet, I suppose. And then... do we want to spend the rig this turn? Yeah, let's get that doubt out there. I guess I'll do this, even though we're going to immediately lose the influence. Oh, you know what? I have multiple stacks. And then I think I am just going to hold on to the coin flips. All right. Turns out nothing here really wants to be prepared. So let's open with Scrub. All right. Currently, we have no rig. I was really hoping to improvise. We're getting some pretty bad luck on these improvises lately. Having a really hard time finding the things we're looking for. Let's see if we can draw a rig. Pretty unfortunate, actually. Well, I guess we're just going to have to gamble the old-fashioned way, which is to say, you know, fairly. I'm not a big fan of it, personally. All right, we definitely headbang immediately. Then... do I want to try a Pale Dead draw? Or do I just want to do sifting pleasantries into cash out? I should try to make sure I'm actually playing cash out, even though it's not necessarily great damage. You know what? Let's go for it. Okay. Got pretty lucky. So we can now do sifting pleasantries to prep the head turner, earn ourselves back that action. And all of a sudden, things are looking pretty good. Sadly, we do not get to take take this person's name. I was kind of hoping that we wouldn't just draw intimidates. Whatever, it's fine. And I think we just we're not going to be able to win the fight. I think I'm just going to call it twice, even without the rigs, and then just play cash out so that we are sure we're getting experience on cash out. It seems like we may be in position here to get it to maximum level before the final battle, potentially. And Headbang doesn't expend, right? There's Headbang is still in my deck somewhere? Okay. Doesn't matter what we prep here. Let us do everything in our power to draw that Headbang. Oh, there's nothing out here for me to attack without ending the fight, so I guess we'll just do this without a rig. Oh, flip the coin into murder mode. Ah, well. Reet dislikes you. I can't imagine why. That's kind of interesting. This would have been fun to have throughout the game. I don't think it's worth picking up now. Like, again, just cards have to be good. They have to be like pretty good to go into the deck at this point. The bog has been gutted for decades. You're fools if you think we have anything to fear. The boggers watch you shrewdly before vanishing one by one back into the tree line. That was remarkably easy. We must be getting close. Indeed, let's press on. And we haven't even seen one rodent of unusual size yet. I'm very disappointed. The light dims as you march deeper into the bog. It's not just the daylight that's dwindling. The air grows thicker, congealing into a miasma of spores and swamp gas. Something's not right, just like every other time we've stopped. The air is thick enough to dampen sounds, but you know all the same when you've walked into a trap. Ah, Captain, there you are. I was beginning to worry Kalandra might have caught wind of your duplicity and left you dead in the bog. But I think it's time this charade come to an end. Kalandra, come peacefully, and I'll see to it you're executed cleanly. And that the workers under your influence are treated fairly. Oh, no you don't, Slimesucker. Rook, now's your time to prove your word. With Falemo out of the picture, labor negotiations are as good as won. Yeah, I mean... I suppose I could just bail, but no, we're sticking in for Kalandra here, right? Falemo already doesn't like me, so we're not losing a boon or anything. Yeah, let's do it. Falemo hates you at the beginning of every negotiation. Okay, wow, that's a bad penalty. It's a good thing we won't have to deal with it for very long. Handful, drawing way too many cards. Do we want to open with the portable bunker, I guess, is a question. No, I don't, because whatever item card we use first during combat, we're going to use twice, right? So we actually want to wait until we get one of our better item cards. So you have, right, you hate me very much. I understand that. And you got your basic healing thing. Professional Pluck takes bonus damage from consecutive attacks and after firing their cannons. And then you've got, the Hover Pack, which we've seen before, I think. Okay. Well, feels like we probably ought to open with Overcharged Gunsmoke. And then do we just lay into Professional Pluck because that's where the Ricochet landed? Because we've got Charged Barrage here, which is not bad. We probably want to, If we induction crank, we're going to gain one more overcharge. So is this gonna call reinforcements into the battle? I guess this is a problem with having saved it for right now, is that I have no idea how it actually works. Let's call in Calandra. I'm sure this will be like calling in Naden. Is that how they pronounced it? At the end of at the end of Sal's campaign, where it's just like an attack, right? Yeah, just just run in here and throw a grenade at someone. Good start. Okay, so no, it's make an attack. This is not calling in a reinforcement. This is the same kind of thing. So make an attack that applies deflect, and it's kind of funny flavor for a pamphleteer. Let's do AoE. Oh, also, I should probably fire this thing off. Let's just go ahead and salvo. Let's open up here. Yeah, I'm not going to apply any wounds or anything, so. Yeah, we're getting some pretty good play off of that ricochet, honestly. Yeah, I should have flourished first because we're already back to 22%. This fight's like over, actually. Yeah, so I guess induction crank now, and then big charged barrage. Yeah, okay. Maybe the secret to using this graft, or rather, which one? This one. The secret to using muscle bank is don't end your first turn. That makes it really easy to avoid the damage. So attack more or better damage. We're not reliably building up to 4 overcharge. I think this makes more sense. I tried to set up a strategy, but we are not actually doing it well enough. So some resolves, some dollars, a utility belt, improvise plus 2 item cards from your deck. Yo, actually phenomenal. A new negotiation card. Gain 2 influence and 2 dominance. Honestly, kind of not even good. Like, I sort of don't even want to put this in my deck. I don't think I'm going to. Targets a random enemy and fires 4 times. Yeah, I'll take that. The targeting core applies targeted, and it's 0 cost and has replenish, so sure. And then Robo Kick is pretty cool. Deal 2 bonus damage for every overcharge, consumes all overcharge. These are at least on strategy. But I wonder how tough the boss is going to be. Also, it's interesting that this one comes in with zero XP on it, because usually stuff you get late in the campaign has enough experience on it already that you could potentially upgrade it. Let's take this. We already have some more damage per overcharge stuff. This gives us a little bit of utility. Yeah, I'm sure I don't want that mask. Wow, Flamo's dead. You really did it, and kind of by accident a little bit. If only Fleck could be here. He'd scold me for not believing in you. I mean, assuming it wasn't just a ruse, of course. Sorry, meaning? After all this, I gotta say, Rook, it's hard to have faith. So much double dealing, so much lying. Tell me you are not about to do the very stupid thing it looks like you're about to do. I can't shake this feeling that there's a long con in this somewhere. Well, alright, She wants to trust me, and she does love me, and she did just watch me murder my other employer, which I guess is kind of that's sort of somewhere in the middle, right? That could be a good sign or a bad sign. Yeah, I guess let's do this. We'll prep this card again just to generate the... Oh, if it doesn't actually cause movement, it doesn't feed the helmet. Well, I'm gonna try to get lucky and not get there. But we're going to play the headbang anyway, even though it doesn't end the battle, because experience. And actually, not ending the battle is probably a good thing, because it gives us a chance to draw a cash out, yeah. Do we care about what is prepped? Not really. So it's just like flip the coin, and then cash out. It turns out it's very easy to get people to trust you. Okay, so it starts at 4 instead of at 2, or damage is reset when played, but it no longer expends. We don't usually need to play it more than once. I'm going to take the higher base damage. And then 3 to 8 becomes 6 to 6, or gamble twice. So right now, on 3 to 8, the average damage is... Yeah, I don't know. This doesn't really seem like that much of an upgrade. Right, what is the average damage changes by like half a point? I guess I'm going to take this one. Weird. Weird card. And then, yeah, not even really worth considering. You asked me to walk an impossible line, serving 2 masters, earning the trust of both, and I believe I did so to the best of my ability, and now here I stand by your side, and let's remember, Philemo's side is down there on the ground, underneath him where he is dead. No one else's. You're right, of course. Believe it or not, I haven't always been able to trust people. But I am choosing to trust you. And I appreciate that. That's very stupid. You should not be doing it, but I appreciate that. When we began this journey, you said you'd never ask me to take the moral high ground. But I have done. That's, again, another very British expression there, which suggests an accent. And the view is fine. Now, that cash awaits. Eventually, the road leads you to a strange outcropping of rock sticking out of the bog like a snaggletooth. Just inside the entrance, you find signs of civilization, such as it is. Glowing relics and some discarded bones have been shaped into what might be an altar. We're here. Are we? Then where's the cache? You'll find what you seek in the heart of the bog. Oh, hello. I suppose you're going to offer resistance if we say we're here to claim an ancient treasure? There's nothing to resist. You coming here was foretold by the bog. It's been salivating with the utmost anticipation. That sounds rather unpleasant. I assure you, there is nothing but bliss in the embrace of the bog. Let it feast upon you, and no deliverance. Is this the boss fight? Yes, okay. Well, let's do that thing we always do before a boss fight. Ah, the bog foretold this, did it? We'll see about that. So, yeah, the prep's not terribly important. Let's prep Scrub. So what is your deal? This cannot be attacked. We have to undermine his faith to drop the shield around his core argument and give yourself advantages in the upcoming fight. Yeah, so not terribly unusual. When one of Glofrium's arguments is destroyed, incept 6 Bog Thought. Destroying this will increase your card draw. At the start of each turn, apply 6 Composure to a friendly argument. Destroying this will cause Glofrium to have lower health. And spawn a Peeper at the start of Glofrium's turn if this argument did not lose Resolve. Destroying this will reduce his attack strength. Okay, so we want to hit this once each turn, and we want to just burn the other ones out as fast as possible. This all seems very doable. I'm going to go ahead and start hatching my Scrub. And then we may as well open up one of these. Did not get the gamble result we were hoping for, but we did at least draw some rigs. So this seems like a pretty good time for a boosted head split. And then, do we even want to try Promoted Trickery? I think I'd rather just do this. Let's just rig up another flip and, unfortunately, eat a whole bunch of damage. So the helmet is a little bit unreliable. So that card's free anyway, the way we've set our hand up. Yeah, this is a good way to do this. So play the other Scrub. Now, I think we have to make it actually lose... yeah, I think we probably have to make it actually lose Resolve, so we got to hit it one more time. And then... doesn't really matter how we... I'm gonna prep this, and then we're gonna play it, and that's gonna re-prep this, and whatever, you know. Okay, we get to make a lot of coin flips here. I definitely want to try to burn through the rest of that. Boosted headbang's very good. This was a good draw. We may as well draw first. So if we play the Pale Dead draw, we're not going to get to do the boosted headbang. I feel like we should probably take this opportunity. Yeah, let's try to burn this out first. Because I don't exactly know what Bog Thought is, but I think it's probably bad. I am intentionally not destroying the other arguments yet. And I mean, we may as well... I wasn't really thinking about it. We may as well do this, though. I should probably have done that as soon as we put the big rig up. Okay, coin ended on the wrong side, which is a shame. I was hoping we'd just do 2 random damage to that thing. Yep, all right, there's a pretty big chunk of damage. Obviously. Okay, so we got to blow this up. That's of critical import. Okay, it did. Oh no, it did not. It did not, in fact, incept Bog Thought. It just created this. Destroy this argument to gain concussion. That card's fine, I guess. It's not very exciting. Let's do this. All right. I think the rig is pretty important. It doesn't actually matter what we prep. This is the card we're going to play. And there's just not really any sense in playing bluff. This has felt pretty easy because the battle's going really quickly, but we've taken a lot of damage here. Okay, eye shot seems probably useful. I want that. And then, yeah, it sort of doesn't matter what at this point. We've extremely got the battle. All right, we built a very, very powerful negotiation deck to back up our sort of scattered and panicked, but also still pretty powerful combat deck. Did it foretell my desecration? How I sullied it as it came through? As I came through? How I spilled blood that wasn't mine to spill? Is that what your bog wanted? You know nothing of what the bog wants. And I dare say, neither do you. Enough. Okay, well, he's got some kind of great big, don't starve ass looking gun. I guess that makes sense. Then I suppose this ends only one way. Careful, Rook. Who knows what these boggers are capable of? Me, I know what they're capable of. It's dying. Glowframe dislikes you. What a surprise. All right, let's play 100 cards. So do I have a source of wounds here? I do not. So we should probably start with the overcharged gunsmoke. Let's get the 2 points of overcharge, and then just really explode him a whole lot. Yeah, it's a pretty okay start. The Rise Automech could show up. He's got skills and buffs or whatever. I'm just gonna blow his face entirely through the backside of his head. That's my plan. And then, oh, I was gonna say, and then the prosthetic leg, like we could make it the thing. Okay, so he cannot be killed. We gotta just like wait. Yeah, he's gonna do something. For the moment, he cannot be killed. I guess let's throw a point of burn up. Let's throw a couple points of burn up on him. See what comes of that. Oh, okay. That's why that goes that way. I was going to say that seemed very easy for a boss fight, so this makes sense. So the Grout monster has devoured the Bogger Priest, gaining 1 health. Ah, that's why it's 301. Spark Mines and Grout Knuckles lose 6 health when they emerge. Okay, so this is all the benefits we got out of the other part of the fight, I think. Out of winning the negotiation. Well, for the moment, I think we open up with the giant stinger. He's just going to do some kind of buff up thing, and it's hard to know ahead of time what that might be. Let's call in the automech one more time. Now that we've got the wounds up. And do we want to... This will gain us a little bit more overcharge, so the robo kick will be more effective. I think that probably makes sense. There you go. Now we're using the prosthetic. And do I want to just go ahead and flourish? I guess there's no reason... Well, it might spawn stuff. Hold on. Let's wait until next turn. I bet what it's about to do is spawn some, stalks or something. Okay, so what's your deal? You'll return to the bog in 3 turns. Whenever Grout Eye Stalk is hit, it closes its eye and is stunned for the remainder of the turn. Okay, seems pretty straightforward. So, do we have a way of gaining overcharge right now? We have Utility Belt. So get me... I'm trying to think through my turn here. Like, what am I going to do? Here, we're going to take the automatic blaster and the coil gun. No, I'm not going to take the coil gun. I was not counting the number of cards in my hand. Mostly I wanted to take the coil gun because I was curious if doing this counts as playing a card. It does say it's a card, so I was going to test whether the number on the coil gun went up when we did our flourish. All right, so we got a couple of stuns off there. And then... yeah, I wish we had more... really, really wish we had more ways of boosting up our overcharge right now. Let's get you in here. I mean, we may as well, right? Just like blow up the whole battlefield. The dog is... okay, the dog is... oh, he's going to do his howl thing. There, we'll apply a little Kikashay here. I should have done that earlier. Then we'll just shoot you real hard to finish off the other one. And I guess at this point, an eye shot would have been fine too. Listen, we got a lot of buttons to push over here. Okay, dog seems to have changed his mind based on the shifting number of targets. That was kind of a lot of damage. Let's see. Energy loop will get me nowhere near full health, but it's probably worth doing. Yeah, okay. Let's energy loop. Use a little bit of pushback. So he's attacking with piercing damage. Should definitely get the burn up now, and then if we're putting burn up, we should probably put more burn up at the same time. And I guess impairing attacks, that makes sense, right? I'm getting bashed by a great big tentacle here. Ow. That looked like it really hurt, actually. Wow, you are stealing a lot of my cards. Okay. Well, the good news is I have a lot of I have a lot of sources of multi-attack. I guess we'll start up with one of... oh, hold on. I actually have a source of overcharge this time. Let's play that first. Then we'll just go ahead and throw out a quick spark grenade. Kalandra, get in here and throw some explosives, please. How many explosives is too many? The answer to that is I do not understand the question. Let's continue to apply impair here. So you have 7 stacks of impair now. We probably don't need to do that anymore. Give you one of those, and then So when the burn happens, half as much to all allies, it should kill both of these, right? I'm a little concerned that this one does not have a skull over it. I'm wondering if burn doesn't apply to the bog blisters because they don't count as allies or something. Definitely gonna have myself a little snack here. Oh right, we have the hunker down that has overcharge on it. I was kind of thinking about just playing bog scimitar on this thing in case the burn doesn't work the way I expect. Instead of doing the defense, you know, I'm just gonna hit the boss with it. So we'll let the dog do that, and then okay, no, the burn totally did work. So I could have used the targeting core to retarget the dog. I just was not sure that was actually going to work. We'll just go ahead and play the fever. We never got through to the end of whatever that hatches into, and I'm actually really bummed out about that. Applies defect. Next attack on this fighter does double damage. Yeah, okay. So, the aerostat coil gun is already our highest damage attack, but I don't think I want to spend any time buffing it up anymore. How's that worded? The next attack on this fighter does double damage. So I would expect with the automech blaster, we would only get the double damage on the first of the 4 shots. I think I'm just going to coil gun. That's a pretty good start, right? Gain some charge, and then take a completely free shot, and then I really don't I really don't need to apply any further overcharge. So I guess we'll finish off the automech blaster here. Hey, that looks dangerous. The bog, or whatever it was, sinks slowly into the earth. It's done. So it is, and this is the part where Rook double, triple, quadruple crosses her, right? For whoever his employer is. Is this the part where I get to find out who his employer is? Because I would really like to know. Kalandra gets to work examining the area. There is work to be done, and you only started it. She doesn't notice the strange device poking out of the mud. But that's all right. I did. You've unlocked gameplay mutators. Hooray! I guess that's what the device was. Also unlocked Brawl for Rook. We'll check out Brawl mode after we've played all 3 characters. So no, we do not in fact get to know what the actual point of Rook being there was. That it doesn't really bother me from like a narrative design standpoint or anything. I just don't like the suspense that it keeps me in. I wanted resolution. Every time you gamble, reduce the card of the cost of this card by 1. Okay, that's interesting, and it upgrades really quickly, which I guess makes sense for a card that is very hard to play. Evoke, prepare a card, gamble twice. That's really neat. When this is drawn, gain an action and expend. Also, so yeah, it gain an action and expend, but it doesn't replace the card. So you have to have some other source of additional cards for this to be very good, because otherwise you're going to end up just running out of cards in hand with the bonus action left over. This gives you an easy way of getting concentration. Okay, so sort of a concentration pack here. Okay, that's cool. That's an interesting linear. Ah, the old snail in the pocket. It's, it's probably not supposed to be filthy. It sounds filthy, though. Discard this card, deal 3 damage to a random target. Okay, that's really cool. Discard your hand and draw 5 cards. Just disregards. Cover your ears and sing. Whenever you gain charge, deal 2 damage to a random enemy. Seems like an incredibly powerful ability to have early on. Okay, we are unlocking some really interesting cards. So my feeling at the end of Sal's story was that probably that's the ending you always see, right? Like, Sal's story is always going to end with her taking apart, what's her name? But I guess there's room for different endings based on whether you sided with Naden or whether you sided with the Admiralty, even though those were not like major parts of the ending. Here, the ending would be quite different if you sided with Kalandra or if you sided with Falemo, or maybe if you did neither, if you chose to let them fight and you just sneak off. So I'm really curious to see the other endings. Spend influence to gain dominance, or to rig coin, or to gamble a bunch. This could potentially be interesting. A bunch of cards that work when you're fully charged, which doesn't seem that hard to do. Although I guess, in part, it didn't seem that hard for us to do because we had taken a bunch of our charges out. Ooh, matter of fact, turning common defensive moves into damage. I like that a lot. You've probably at this point gotten the theme that I don't care much for defense. But if you can use it to hurt people, all of a sudden it becomes interesting again. Apply burn threshold 4. Activates an added effect if damage is at or above the threshold number. Oh, interesting. That's really powerful if you have a way of reliably boosting the damage, like a bunch of wounds or a lot of overcharge or something. Threshold 8, gain 8 counter. All right, we've unlocked a new level of prestige. We're definitely going to come back and try out Prestige 2 at some point. But, next up, we have this whole other character to play, right? So, that's what we're going to call it for today, of course. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm a little disappointed that we never exactly got to find out what was going on with Rook. I think it makes a lot of sense. Like, that's the whole deal, right? All of his work is so in the shadows. But still, I'm bummed out. It doesn't matter that it makes sense. It still bums me out. When you come back next time, tomorrow, we're going to be starting up a run with Smith. Smith is the name of the third character, who I have not played at all, and I have no idea of the mechanics of. That'll be exciting. And we'll see you then.